Hello everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. It's your instructor Daniel Shonuga and I've been taking you, I've been taking you, to be honest, our CSS training, right? So before we start the video, please make sure to like our videos if you find them helpful to you, and also subscribe to see more related content or more tech content or more courses that we're going to be releasing to you, right? So you do not want to miss that, because these courses are being taught by the core instructors at Alibian Solutions, and we are taking these so just so that you can understand it just before coming to our place to learn and pay. You can just use this video to get yourself started on this concept that you need to know. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the page layout, and the page layout basically determines the width of the website, right? Before, when we like traditionally in the past, when you try to start working on your layouts, the first thing you usually do is to sketch the layout, right? That makes sense, because before you start working on something, you need to know what you are going to be getting eventually. So what you do normally is just sketch it and know, okay, I'm going to have this particular navigation here. I'm going to have my navigation at this part. I'm going to have my side nav at some part. So that's why you create these layouts, right? So let's talk about the traditional layout. So for a long time, web page authors uses div to group elements together on their page, such as the header, an article, a footer, a sidebar. So, and these authors uses the class attribute or ID attribute to indicate the role of a div. So that was a bit of a problem, because if it was a navigation bar, they will use div. If it was a header, they will use div. If it was a site nav, they use div. Like everything was just using div, right? And this wasn't like the people at the HTML stuff did not find this comfortable. Even developers did not find this comfortable, because eventually you have to scroll through a lot of codes and they will not even know the codes that they are, except they see the ID properly, right? But now HTML5 has introduced a new layout element, and these are some of the layout elements that we can start using now. You have the header, you have the footer, you have the nav, you have the article, you have the A-side, sections, H group. So you have all these, right? All this does the same thing as that div does, but now it is now being properly named, such that you can know that okay, I'm now dealing with an header, I'm dealing with a footer. Eventually, you are the one that's going to style it. It doesn't come with a pre-built style itself. So whether it's an header, it does the same thing that the div does. So you yourself will be the one to style it. Okay, I want it to look in this particular way, right? I want it to look like a particular header. You get? So it's just an HTML stuff. It doesn't add its own style that can manipulate it properly. So let's talk about the fixed width layout. And the fixed width layout is a layout that its widths are set in pixels, right? When you set a layout in pixels, it stays the same, even when you choose a different width. Whether you work with them on a mobile view, the width stays the same. If you define a width of 960 on the mobile view, what you'll be seeing is a width of 960, and everything will be so destroyed, right? That's when you're using a fixed layout. It stays the same no matter the screens, no matter the layout you go to, right? And that was its best downside, because they're always fixed. They have the same size no matter how the Windows size you use. So one thing you can just choose to use instead is the liquid layout. And the liquid layout, the dimensions or the width are set using percentages instead of pixels. So when you use percentages, it allows it to scale properly, so in relation to the browser. So as the screen gets wider, is the column also gets wider, so it scales irrespective of the screens that you are in. And when you're working with liquid layouts, they also have their own problem, because at smaller width, the line length can get incredibly narrow and can become difficult to see. So what you can do is, for those kind of situations, consider specifying something called a min width to it, so that it doesn't go smaller than a particular size, right? I also consider working with the Mac suite. But eventually, all this is something that you are going to be styling yourself, right? As a developer, you'll be able to specify the stylings you want it to look like, and that is how you can just easily work with your page layout, your HTML page layout format, right? So we've started from the beginning, which is defining our selectors, talk about our positioning, talk about our margin padding, talk about our width and height, right? In the course of this tutorial or in the course of this training, talk about our flex, talk about our positioning, and I'm sure that these has actually helped you to have a better idea of how CSS works. So what I would usually advise to my students that I take is oftentimes try to practice. Look at websites. Try to use this I've taught you to replicate some things that you see on a website that you love. Right? This is when you love your website, you want to I want to know how this works. Right? Try to do those kind of, try to be that kind of person. Right? Try to know how they've made it, so that, because eventually you're not just learning this just for you to use it yourself. You are learning it for you to be able to create the things that the big guys in this industry create, right? So you need to start by practicing, and if you don't practice, there is no way you will get better, right? So practice makes it better. So even though I've taught you all these things, I do not expect you to get this 100% well. So now it's left to you to practice and use all this theory. Let's just take this as a theory, although it is practical, but let's take this as a theory. Use all this theory I've taught you and create something practical that you can be proud of and you can show your colleagues or your friends, right? Yeah, so if you like these videos and if you find our videos of this training helpful to you, please make sure to like our videos and also subscribe to our YouTube channels to see more of the videos that we're coming, such as the JavaScript videos, the React videos that will be coming very, very soon. And thank you very much for watching our video. And I'm going to create a one more video, which is going to be a project video, right? It's going to be a project video where we give you a project to do, and then we give you basically the assets we think you might need for the project, right? So that video is going to be coming up after this, and that is going to be our final video for this CSS training. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day.